Rapunzel. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a lovely couple. One day, the woman gave her husband the good news that she was pregnant. Her husband was so glad about the news that he said he would do anything for her. And one day, she told him that she was longing for some crunchy lettuce. "If I can't eat some of that delicious lettuce from our neighbor's garden, I won't get any rest." So her husband went into the neighbor's garden to fulfill his wife's wish. But the poor man did not know that his neighbor was a very dangerous witch named Camilla. No one knew, but the witch was 150 years old. To look young, Camilla could only touch golden things, so she covered everything in her house with gold. She covered the plates, spoons, and forks, bottles, lamps, even the chairs on which she sat. Everything was covered with gold. And that evening, there was a knock at the door. It was the neighbor who had come to ask for some lettuce for his pregnant wife. Camilla said that he could take as much as he wanted from the garden, but under one condition.
"If your child has golden blonde hair, I'll take it."
The man didn't know what to do, but he foolishly agreed and prayed that his child would not have blonde hair. But a few days later, his wife gave birth to a beautiful baby girl with golden blonde hair. They called her Rapunzel. Camilla somehow knew the baby would be born with blonde hair. So she took the baby from her parents and brought her home. The witch took very good care of Rapunzel. She combed her blonde hair, which grew a little longer every day. Camilla never wanted her hair to be cut, because she would take long strands of hair and cook it in a magical cauldron and turn it into gold.
My magic turns her long golden hairs into gold. I'm set for life. Yippee-skippy.
Deep in the forest, Camilla used her magic to build a huge, tall tower where Rapunzel would be trapped and her hair would be safe. The tower didn't even have stairs inside. It was just one small room with one small window. Rapunzel grew up in this room alone for 18 years, except for Camilla's visits. When Camilla came to visit her from time to time, she called on her from below.
"Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your golden hair."
Rapunzel would let down her long braided hair down the window, and Camilla would hold on to it and climb up into the tower. "Mother, why doesn't this tower have stairs? Why can't I step on the ground and play with flowers and animals?"
My beautiful golden-haired girl, this is the only way I can protect you from the evils of the world. There are many dangerous animals out there, and all kinds of mean creatures. If something were to happen to you, I wouldn't survive.
One day Rob, the handsome prince of the country, who was born on the same day as Rapunzel, took his horse for a ride in the forest. The prince heard the singing in the forest and listened carefully.
This voice is such a beautiful voice.
And followed the sound of the mysterious voice until he finally arrived at the bottom of the tower where Rapunzel lived. When she sang at the window of the tower, he immediately fell in love with her. He glanced around for a door to the tower, but could not find one. And just then, Camilla also arrived at the tower. So the prince hid behind the bushes because he knew of her reputation as a wicked, mean witch.
Oh no, that's Camilla, the evil witch. What is she doing here?
Rapunzel! 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 Let down your golden hair!
Rapunzel let her long hair down for Camilla to climb up. The next day, the prince returned to the tower, but when he arrived, he tried to imitate the witch's voice and called up to the tower.
Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your golden hair!
Rapunzel thought the voice sounded odd, but let her hair down anyway. Prince Rob quickly climbed up the hair, curious to find the voice that had sung so beautifully.
Oh, what a hairy climb.
Rapunzel was frightened when she saw him. Who are you? How did you get here?
I'm Prince Rob. I thought you might be in trouble because of the witch and all, and no stairs.
Oh no, I'm Rapunzel. I don't know you. My mother says strangers are dangerous creatures. Oh no, get out of here.
Don't worry, I'm not a dangerous person or creature. I simply heard your beautiful voice and wanted to see what the witch was up to. So I guess I'm here to rescue you.
The prince's words softened Rapunzel's heart, and she began not to be afraid of him anymore.
Miss Rapunzel, would you like to go down off the tower with me to smell the flowers, take a walk in the forest, and meet beautiful animals?
Rapunzel wanted to discover the life outside for years, so she accepted the prince's offer straight away. I've got an idea that can help both of us go down the tower. When the next day arrived, the evil witch Camilla arrived at the tower and was about to call for Rapunzel when she saw her long blonde hair hanging down from the top of the tower.
I guess she saw me coming and let her hair down already.
Camilla started to climb up to the top of the tower. And then she heard sounds of a horse. She thought someone might be nearby, but she didn't bother any further and climbed on because she wanted to reach Rapunzel as soon as possible. When she arrived in Rapunzel's room, she was shocked. Rapunzel wasn't there anymore. She had cut her hair off and run away from the tower.
My gold! My gold is gone! No! Rapunzel!
Rapunzel had cut her hair and tied it to an iron on the wall of the tower, so she and the prince could climb down together. Camilla, alone in the tower, desperately touched Rapunzel's cut hair.
No! No, 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 no! It doesn't work anymore because the hair is cut off. The hair must have roots to turn into gold.
In the meantime, Prince Rob and Rapunzel arrived at the prince's castle. And the prince told everything to his father and mother, the king and queen. The king said that he had heard the name Rapunzel from an old farmer and his wife. So the prince immediately took Rapunzel to the old house of the couple who had said they had lost a baby named Rapunzel. As soon as her poor mother and father opened the door and saw Rapunzel, they recognized her. "My daughter, my dear daughter, you found us! The evil witch took you away from us."
It has been so many years, but you're finally home. We are your real family.
Rapunzel was very happy to meet her real family. And what do you suppose happened to Camilla, who was left in the tower with no gold?
I'll find you, Rapunzel. I will hunt you for the hair that turns into gold.
One day, the twin princes of the neighboring country, Tom and John, came to visit Cinderella's country. Prince Leo welcomed his guests happily, and they decided to organize a yoga party together.
Let's have the world's biggest yoga party here. And maybe we will find our soulmates during this event.
Meanwhile, Cinderella's half-sister Cassandra was combing her hair in front of the mirror, while Jezebel had secretly deceived her.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
You are so ugly.
What?
When Cassandra got angry and threw her comb, the mirror fell to the floor, and Jezebel appeared.
What? Don't talk to me anymore. Huh.
While the two sisters were fighting, a messenger pigeon entered through the window.
Oh, there's a note on his foot.
That note is mine.
No, it's mine. It came to me.
In the end, the paper was torn in half. Half remained in Cassandra's hands, and the other half flew out of Jezebel's grasp and disappeared. Oh no! That paper flew away!
Oh, on mine it says, join the yoga party. Be our princess.
I wonder what yoga is. Come on, let's sneak to the palace and find out. When night fell, Cassandra and Jezebel sneaked into Cinderella's palace. Hiding from the palace guards and servants, they entered Cinderella's room. At that moment, Cinderella was sitting on the ground with her eyes closed, and she was making a sound like, What is she doing?
Oh, she cast a spell on us. Let's respond right away.
Don't shout! Shut up! While Jezebel was trying to silence her screaming sister Cassandra, she tripped and fell in front of Cinderella.
What are you doing here? We're sleepwalkers.
Cinderella was very angry with her sisters. We went for a walk in the dream. We opened our eyes and...
We found ourselves here. And what are you doing like this?
Cinderella immediately understood why her sisters had sneaked into the palace.
I was doing breathing exercises for yoga. I can teach you Princess Yoga if you want. Be by the river at 12 tomorrow morning.
The next day, they met for the walking lesson. Cinderella gave her sisters books to carry on their heads. She drew a straight line on the ground with the twig she found somewhere around. As an example, she started walking on the line with a book on her head.
Aha! It's so easy! I can walk even with 2 books!
First, Cassandra took the step. Oops! The book fell to the floor. Ha ha ha! Watch me and learn how to walk. Princes will admire me. Jezebel put the book on her head. took 1 step, 2 steps. The book did not fall. In the 3rd step, she herself also fell with the book. The sisters, who failed in the walking lessons, started the 2nd lesson of the princess yoga training, the eloquence class.
We breathe deeply and say, Mama Mimi, out loud. Mama, Mama, Mimi, moo, 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 moo.
But because Cassandra doesn't brush her teeth, bad odor spread from her mouth. Yuck! Did you eat fish with chocolate in the morning? The next morning, they put on their sports clothes and met again. The starting movement of the yoga class was tree pose.
A princess's posture must be beautiful. We can only achieve this through the tree pose. We bring our hands together and take a deep breath. Now we exhale slowly.
While Cinderella was breathing deeply, Jezebel fell asleep standing up. Cassandra, on the other hand, stuck out her tongue like a dog and kept breathing.
Princess will definitely fall in love with me.
Cinderella this time sat on the big Pilates ball and opened and closed her arms. While the sisters were trying to do the same, they sat on the ball so hard that the yoga balls exploded. The next day was the last day of Princess Yoga. Cinderella was going to teach her stepsisters the hardest yoga move.
If you can do this, you will have completed the princess yoga classes. Let's say we've completed the lessons. I suppose the prince will like us, isn't it?
They will marry us, isn't it? Cinderella smiled and lay face down on the grass and did the hardest yoga move. The stepsisters did the hardest yoga move, in pain.
It's so hard! I can't!
My foot hurt a lot.
5,
The sisters began to sweat.
4,
Their bodies were trembling.
3, 2.
Just as the sisters were about to give up on movement, they dreamed of dancing with the twin princes.
1! We did it!
Finally, they did the hardest yoga move. Cinderella immediately congratulated her sisters and gave them a beautiful gift package.
You finally completed the princess lessons. These are your rewards.
The sisters opened the package curiously. They got very angry when they saw the sneakers and sports clothes in it. They threw the package and left.
Cinderella tricked us!
We will do her an unforgettable evil. Cassandra and Jezebel secretly took Cinderella's favorite clothes and immediately left the palace. The day of the yoga party has arrived. The sisters wore Cinderella's dresses and went to the party. But all the guests looked at Cassandra and Jezebel and laughed. Welcoming their guests at the entrance of the palace, twin princes Tom and John were very angry when they saw the sisters.
Didn't you read the whole letter? You cannot enter in these clothes.
My clothes! Why did you take my clothes without permission?
We thought we can't be princesses without these clothes. At that time, the sisters saw the twin princes holding hands with another twin girls, and they left the palace crying. After that day, they realized that being a good princess requires not wearing fancy clothes, but also being happy, eating healthy, and doing sports.
The Little Mermaid and Disappearing Fish. Once upon a time, Aria, the most beautiful mermaid in the world of the oceans, and her dear prince, Edward, got on a cruise ship and sailed to faraway seas. The journey was so lovely that the beauty of the morning sun fascinated everyone.
My prince, I could just sail with you in this beautiful ocean for the rest of my life.
Edward and Aria picked tropical fruits from every island they visited. Pineapple, mango, coconut, papaya, pitaya, raspberry, banana, lemons, and more. Dozens of the most delicious fruits in the 7 seas. They were going to present these fruits to the people in their homeland when they returned to the castle. One day, when the prince and the little mermaid Aria were looking at the ocean, they noticed that in the water there were no ocean creatures.
My princess, we haven't seen any fish in the ocean for days. I wonder why.
Yes, I noticed. My friend Dolphy has not been around for a few days.
Worried about the undersea world, the little mermaid decided she should go investigate the underwater kingdom and check in on her family and friends. Prince Leo walked her to the bow of the ship. Aria became worried.
My prince, if I don't come back by sunset, there is definitely something dangerous going on underwater.
Little Mermaid Aria walked to the end of the ship and leapt into the sea. As soon as she dove into the water, her human legs magically turned back into a mermaid tail. Aria swam swiftly through the water towards the deep sea kingdom, but she could not see any fish friends around. The sea felt too still. As she came near, she called out her best fish friends.
Dolphy! Willie! My crab friends, where are you?
But no one responded. Aria could not hear anything other than the sound of the sand and the water, the magnificent deep sea kingdom, and the whole shimmering blue sea looked calm and empty. The little mermaid Aria swam towards a seashell in the sand. Seashells magically recorded every sound and every wave in the underwater world, just like a diary. Aria put the seashell to her ear and started to listen to the things that had happened.
It was a bright and fun day in our underwater home. Colorful fish, dolphins, jellyfish were active and cheerful. As the sunlight filtered through the water onto the sea floor, the evil witch Vega and her assistant Snake came. I heard them making plans to steal the kingdom's treasure so that Vega could establish her own kingdom, away from King Poseidon and his family. Then Vega and Snake met with the shark gang and they disappeared. I started moving forward in the sand to convey what I heard to the king, but I was stunned at what I saw. A huge fishing net slowly descending into the water. I was afraid, so I hid myself right away.
Aria could not believe the things she heard. She left the seashell where it was and immediately went to look for the fishing net. After swimming a little, she came across a huge fishing net full of sea animals, and her best friend, Dolphy, was in it.
Oh, Dolphy, I finally found you. Aria, hurry up! Save us now! There are 2 other big fishing nets like this one.
While the mermaid was thinking of a plan to save them, Prince Edward was on his ship, waiting for her to reply. She had been gone a long time, so Prince Edward was worried. He pulled out the magic sea dust and swallowed it, and then jumped into the water. As soon as he was in the water, the prince's human legs turned into a tail. Then he started to swim with all his might to look for Aria. Meanwhile, the little mermaid was struggling to bring all 3 large fishing nets together. And she noticed that Vega and Snake were in one of these fishing nets.
Vega? Snake? How did you get caught in these nets? I don't believe it.
What are you doing underwater? I thought you left to be a human.
It doesn't matter. I won't leave my fish friends. I came to save you.
To save us? You?
She said she'd save us.
She said so. Did not you hear it, Snake?
All your arms are stuck in the nets, Vega. You'll never get out of there without help.
That's what you think. The evil sea witch was proud and tried to get free without any help. But she was not successful. Snake, help me! Pull my fourth arm quickly!
Your Majesties.
Use both of your heads, you idiot!
We can't make it, Your Majesty.
Vega, stop! You're making it even worse.
While the mermaid tried to warn Vega, the fishermen threw another net from above. And unfortunately, the mermaid also became stuck in this net.
I got caught. No! Ow! I should have been watching for more nets.
Don't move, Arya. You're going to be stuck more. I will get out of here before you and destroy the entire kingdom. While Mermaid Arya was struggling in the net, Prince Edward arrived.
Edward! Edward! We're here!
The prince, with all his strength and his handy dagger, saved Arya from her net right away.
We've got to stop the pirate fishermen, Princess. Let's hurry, or they'll throw more nets.
Wait here. We will save you.
The mermaid followed the net's rope and swam up so quickly that Prince Edward had a hard time catching up to her. They knew they needed to stop the pirate fishermen quickly before they could drop more nets. Arya came to the surface of the water and shouted at the fishermen.
Hey! Pirate fishermen! You cannot throw nets in the oceans. There are thousands of sea creatures living below. You mustn't harm them.
The pirate fishermen ignored Arya and tried to throw another net into the ocean. Arya, on the other hand, put her hands together and leapt into the air.
It's a mermaid!
The pirates who saw this were scared and amazed when they saw the mermaid.
Hey, look! She's floating! She's like flying!
Arya's magical power over the ocean created huge waves and strong winds and sent the ship of the pirate fishermen far away from their nets and the underwater kingdom. Prince Edward worked fast to cut off the nets, and the underwater creatures were freed. Of course, there were a few wicked creatures that fled right away and didn't even give the prince and Arya a thank you. Even though she had been saved, Vega was furious that the mermaid Arya had been the one to save her.
Your Majesties, the Little Mermaid really saved us, right?
We may have been saved thanks to her, Snake, but this will never change my mission. I will destroy that kingdom, and all treasure will be mine! The fish friends of the Little Mermaid thanked her and the prince for being saved.
We will always be the protectors of the underwater world. Don't worry.
And the sea creatures promised to protect Arya and Edward's ship forever. And once again, the ocean's creatures swam freely in the deep blue water, thanks to the good hearts and courage of Arya and the prince. Peace ruled in the underwater kingdom and spread around the earth. and they lived happily ever after.
Here's my home, deep blue sea. Everything is fun, friends with me. The king called me the Little Mermaid, the very best daughter of the king of the sea. Just look around, you will see the joy, a beautiful life, and the ocean roar. Just look around, you will see the joy, a beautiful life, and the ocean roar. Octopus and dolphins are all around. Now we are dancing in the moonlight. The deep blue sea is my safe place, where my family is hidden from the waves. Just look around, you will see the happiness. We are all together and life sparkles. Just look around, you will see the happiness.
In Princess Sunshine's country, everybody was very happy on that day. Until they noticed a boat that had washed up on the shore and was in pieces. Sunshine was very surprised by what she saw. Firstly, she looked around to see if there was anyone in the boat that might need her help, but she didn't see anyone. And then, when she lifted one of the pieces of broken wood, she saw an injured young girl lying underneath it. "Give me your hand, dear." The young girl stretched out her injured hand as far as she could and was taken away from the wreckage by Sunshine. "Thank you very much. What has happened to you? Where did you come from?" I come from very far away. Actually, I'm a princess, but the Witch Queen has taken over my kingdom. And while I was fighting her, she sent me to the middle of the sea with a spell. And out there, my boat was broken into pieces. How am I going to get home now? "Don't worry, we're going to fix your boat." "But how are we going to do that?" "My princess friends are going to help us." The young girl and Sunshine returned to the palace together. While the young girl was eating for the first time in a while, Sunshine first went and knocked on Cinderella's door to ask for help from the kind-hearted princess she knew. When Cinderella heard about what happened, she gave her some planks made from a special tree as well as some resin to stick them together. Sunshine was very happy about this. After that, she went to visit Rapunzel. When she told her about the young girl's situation, Rapunzel gave a lock of her very strong hair to help fix the boat again. "Take this, it's the strongest hair you'll find in the whole world. The sails and ropes of the boat are going to be very strong." Sunshine gratefully took the hair she offered, and then went to visit Snow White. And Snow White felt very sorry for the young girl whose boat had been destroyed. She wanted to give her a magic compass in the shape of an apple. If she used this, then the boat would never lose its way. And no matter what, it would guide her safely back to where she had come from. Finally, Sunshine went to talk to Mermaid Aria. And Aria gave her a couple of very big seashells. And she said that with these seashells, the boat could very easily escape from horrible sea monsters and dangerous waves that might threaten her. The next day, Sunshine rebuilt the young girl's boat so strongly and beautifully all on her own, with the materials that she had been collecting, that the poor girl started crying tears of joy.
There's still a bit of Rapunzel's hair left over, so take it with you, and when you least expect it, it'll come in quite useful."
The young girl thanked her from the bottom of her heart and set off immediately. Although after a while, lightning began to flash in the sky, and she found herself in the middle of a strong storm. But thanks to the compass she was given, she did not lose her way. And what's more, the new sail on her ship was still completely intact. Later on, terrible sea monsters came out of the water and tried to tip the boat over. Fortunately, the seashells did a very good job of protecting the boat, and it survived the monsters without capsizing. And then the huge waves that came afterwards were not able to sink the boat, thanks to the strong wood. When the young girl set foot again on the land of her country, the Witch Queen was standing there waiting for her.
"I didn't think you'd be able to make it, young girl, but it's a little too late. I'm the queen now. I am stronger than you think, you horrible evil witch."
The witch tried to send an evil spell ball to the young girl. However, the young girl managed to change the direction of the spell by lifting up the magic compass in her pocket. Because of that, the witch was left defenseless. And then at that very moment, the young girl tied the witch with Rapunzel's strong hair, and then she had her thrown into the dungeon. Now feeling stronger and more powerful, the young girl was ready to take on the throne again and rule the country with goodness and make her people happy. Of course, she never forgot about the help that the princesses had given her. The very next day, she wrote them a letter of thanks. Because helping each other is the most important key in overcoming difficulty.
In the land of Princess Sunshine, who had been asleep for years, there was an evil black fairy. This black fairy was living in her dark castle with her only friend, the bat Blackie. One day, when the black fairy looked at her magical ring, she saw that the sleeping beauty Sunshine was awakened by a brave prince. The black fairy was so enraged that she was surrounded by green flames.
Calm down, black fairy. This is not the time to act in anger.
I'll make Sunshine regret opening her eyes. On the other hand, the prince gifted Sunshine a white horse. This unicorn, which they named Luna, also had magical wings. The princess immediately got on Luna's back and started flying in the sky. Oh, this is great! Higher, Luna! Let's fly higher! Seeing Sunshine's happiness, the black fairy was enraged.
Calm down, your majesty. You are very strong.
Even when the black fairy was a little fairy, she used to harm and hurt other good fairies. She would throw mud on one of them and make fun of the other's hair.
Your hair is so ugly, it looks like deer antlers.
One day, when she damaged the wings of Fairy Hyacinth with an evil spell, Fairy Hyacinth went immediately to the king and complained about the black fairy to him.
That's enough! Soldiers, trap the black fairy in the farthest, quietest, and most desolate part of the forest.
Thus, the black fairy spent her days alone in the depths of the forest. So much so that colorful flowers did not bloom around her. And no animal came to that remote, desolate corner of the forest. Every day, she was looking for ways to get out of the forest. But the forest was like a labyrinth, bringing the black fairy to the same place wherever she walked. One day, when she was wandering alone, sad, a bat suddenly appeared over her head.
You're a fairy, aren't you? What are you doing alone in this desolate part of the forest?
The king imprisoned me here for doing evil to other fairies.
What kind of evils, for example?
The bat was overjoyed when the Black Fairy talked about the harm she did to the good fairies, because he believed that evil is the greatest power.
If you want to be strong, you are on the right track, Fairy. If you accept me as your servant, I will grant you mysterious spells.
Mysterious spells? Like spells that can save me from this situation?
Yes!
The bat handed the Black Fairy a ring. The moment the Black Fairy wore the ring, black clouds gathered in the sky, and lightning struck the trees, and laughter echoed from the ring. When the Black Fairy looked through the ring, she saw how strong and powerful she would be in the future. Thus, she accepted the bat as her servant. Years followed years. The Black Fairy, thanks to the power of the ring, built a wood-carved castle in that desolate land. And the bat Blackie began to live with her in this castle. When the Black Fairy saw through her ring the news that the king and queen had a child, she was furious that she was not invited to the kingdom like the other good fairies. That day, she made a promise to herself that she would not fail to do all kinds of evil to the princess. Blackie, I want to make the princess regret opening her eyes.
I have a plan in mind, Your Majesty.
Blackie explained the plan he had in mind to the Black Fairy in all its details. When the sun disappeared and the stars filled the sky, the Black Fairy appeared in Sunshine's dream with the power of her ring.
Wake up now, princess. All the birds are waiting to be rescued.
You must help them.
What? How? What happened to the birds?
The Black Fairy explained that all the birds in the sky were affected by an evil spell, and that they could not fly because they were surrounded by dry branches. Only you can save them. Come on, wake up and run into the forest. Sunshine woke up in fear at night. She set out to save the birds without telling anyone. When she arrived in the forest, she indeed saw the birds spellbound on the dry branches of a huge tree. She was about to try to climb the tree when the Black Fairy appeared out of the mists.
You're the fairy in my dreams! Did you do this to the birds? But why?
If you don't go into the hollow of the tree, the birds will never sing or fly again.
Sunshine agreed to enter the tree to save the birds. But as soon as she entered the hollow, the branches of the tree grew and imprisoned the princess inside.
Oh, Black Fairy, I did what you asked. Free the birds now.
Birds? Oh, what birds?
At that moment, the birds in the branches of the tree disappeared in a second.
You see, neither birds nor other animals can come to this desolate forest, princess. They were all scams. Only you will stay here forever, alone.
Sunshine did not know what to do in the face of the Black Fairy's treacherous trap. Although she tried very hard, she could not free herself from the branches. When morning came, the prince, who could not find Sunshine anywhere, was very fussy. Seeing him in this state, the white horse Luna came to him.
Jump on my back. We can find Sunshine by following her scent.
Luna flew into the mysterious forest with her majestic wings. When she realized that she had smelt the princess, she immediately landed on the ground. But the silence and darkness in the forest scared them a lot. A little further on, they saw Sunshine trapped in the hollow of a tree.
Sunshine! My princess! Don't worry, we'll save you!
My prince! Oh, and Luna! Luna spread her colorful wings and sprinkled magic dust all over the tree. Dry branches broke off one by one and fell to the ground. Thus, Sunshine escaped from the hollow in which she was trapped. Oh, I thought I'd never get out of here. Thank you so much. The prince and princess returned to the kingdom with Luna. Both Sunshine and the prince knew that the real power was never in evil, but in love and friendship. The Black Fairy, on the other hand, never admitted defeat. She was still chasing new plans to disrupt love and friendship.
Cinderella, Evil Fairy. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a beautiful princess named Cinderella. Cinderella was married to the handsome Prince Leo. They lived happily in the great castle and enjoyed their lives. But back at Cinderella's home, her stepmother, Lady Puffy, and her 2 daughters were all upset and jealous.
If I was living at that castle, I would be going to the best balls and dances. I would be eating the most delicious meals at the castle every evening.
Even their cat Papu would dream about a wealthy life at the castle. Lady Puffy was so angry that she threw Cinderella's things out the attic window one by one. We don't need any of these things anymore. It's all useless. Suddenly, Lady Puffy spotted a box which was left in the corner of the room. With great curiosity, she opened it up and found an old pocket watch inside. Lady Puffy took the pocket watch and headed to the living room. The sisters also were very curious when they saw the old watch, and they pressed the button on the side of the watch to open it up and to see what was hiding inside. It seemed to be an ordinary watch with an ordinary mirror, except the hands of the clock began to turn backwards. All of a sudden, bright lights shone out of the watch and lit up the whole room. They were all surprised, and suddenly, an evil fairy appeared in front of them.
Finally, I'm back in the real world!
You? What? Who are you?
I am the fairy of the past. My name is Kyrabel.
Kyrabel was thrown out of the fairy world because she was a bad-hearted, cruel fairy. She told Lady Puffy and her daughters,
"Whoever of you ladies saved me may make a wish. Anything you want." Me! I saved you. It was me.
The evil fairy Kyrabel chose Lady Puffy for the wish. And without hesitation, Lady Puffy made a wish. "I want you to turn back time to the night of the ball. Prince Leo shall get married to one of my beautiful daughters."
Achoo!
The evil fairy waved her magic wand at the pocket watch and made every watch in the whole country turn backwards. When that happened, Cinderella suddenly found herself back in time, at the night in which she became married to the prince. Then, time slipped backwards again, when she was at the huge mansion that was built for the glass slipper. She tried to get into the mansion again. Then, She moved back in time again, when Lady Puffy and her daughters locked her up in the house and went to the mansion to try on the glass slipper. Prince Leo found Cinderella's shoe at the castle stairs, and again the clock hit 12. The wonderful dance took place once more. Then Cinderella headed to the castle in her pumpkin coach. Time kept slipping backwards until Cinderella found herself sitting under the hazelnut tree with cheddar and mozzarella, and Fairy Leobelle came back again.
Beautiful Cinderella, I came to help you. Leobelle, what's going on? The prince doesn't know me anymore. This must be the work of my evil sister, Kyrabelle.
Leobelle told about some mysterious box in the world of the fairies. It was strictly forbidden to open up that box, but Fairy Kyrabelle opened it anyway. She told that Kyrabelle was punished and trapped into an old pocket watch. After a long time had passed, she was set out of her prison by Lady Puffy and her daughters. She showed Cinderella that Kyrabelle was together with them.
Lady Puffy made a horrible wish to Kyrabelle. In order to fix this, we need to lock her back up inside of that watch. I agree, but how?
Leobelle, Cinderella, and their little friends made a plan. Another few days turned backwards. The ambassador of the castle announced the ball again. But this time, Cassandra and Jezebel didn't tell Cinderella about the ball and tried on their ballroom dresses in secret. The next day, to stop Cinderella from going to the ball, Lady Puffy locked her up in the attic and walked away with her daughters without saying anything. Before entering the ballroom, Kyrabelle appeared next to them. She waved her magic wand and put a love spell on Cassandra. As soon as Cassandra entered the ballroom, she caught Prince Leo's attention thanks to the love spell. The prince headed towards her and asked her if she would dance with him.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Cinderella and her little friends were still locked up in the attic, waiting for the good fairy. The white pigeon arrived at Cinderella's small window, carrying the old pocket watch in which Kyrabelle was trapped before. A moment later, the good fairy Leobelle appeared in front of them.
We have to go to the hazelnut tree right now.
Fairy waved her magic wand once, and all of a sudden, Cinderella and her friends found themselves under the hazelnut tree again. But from behind the tree, the evil fairy Kyrabelle surprised them.
Your plan will fail. Cinderella will never make it. And now it's your time to be trapped in the watch, Leobelle.
The evil fairy cast her spells at Leobelle with all her nasty powers, and Leobelle fought back with her magic wand. The little mice and pigeon hid behind Cinderella because of the powerful battle. Leobelle's wand became stronger and stronger. And finally, the evil fairy was defeated and blown down to the ground.
Cinderella, the watch! Open the watch! Hurry up! No! Please! I can't be trapped inside that watch again!
Cinderella opened the watch in her hand quickly. The evil fairy Kyrabelle disappeared slowly and went back into the mirror in the watch. all the watches in the country started to move correctly again. But of course, this was not the end of the story. The ball! I'm too late for the ball, Leobelle! The good fairy, with a magic touch, gave Cinderella a wonderful dress and her famous glass shoes. A few moments later, with a little help of magic, she turned the pigeon into a huge bird. So, Cinderella sat down on the back of the pigeon, and without wasting a moment, they quickly flew away to the castle. But when she arrived, she saw Prince Leo dancing with Cassandra. Mozzarella and Cheddar ran to the prince and tried to wake him from his spell.
Hey! The most beautiful girl at the ball is over there.
The most beautiful girl?
Whatever. Let us dance. Look, she's waiting for you. Go!
As soon as Prince Leo saw Cinderella, he fell in love with her again, and the magic of true love destroyed the spell of the evil fairy. Cinderella and Prince Leo started to dance.
I think I know you. Your beautiful face looks really familiar.
Cinderella happily danced with the prince. Also, Mozzarella and Cheddar were dancing. Finally, everything was as it was supposed to be. Cinderella and Prince Leo were married again within a few days, and their lovely hearts were back on track. While Lady Puffy and her arrogant daughters were mad out of jealousy.
We couldn't make it again! Again!
In a land far, far away, there was a princess with long red hair. This princess had a beautiful flower garden. The red roses especially were giving great happiness to the princess. In the evening, when the people in the country went to bed to fall asleep, the Rose Princess would go out to the balcony of the palace and clap her hands 3 times. Hearing this sound, a tiny golden bird flew into the Rose Princess's hand. And at that moment, the princess's hair began to shine brightly. The cute bird began to sing beautifully. And the princess was singing a lullaby with her velvet voice.
Close your eyes tonight.
Everyone who heard this beautiful lullaby of the princess would slowly close their eyes and fall asleep immediately.
It's time to say goodnight.
Sweet dreams and good night, beautiful people of my country. While the nights were passing in peace and joy thanks to the Rose Princess, one day, a witch with a pointed hat and scowling came to the palace of the Rose Princess with a flying broom. La da 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 da.
I can't stand this princess singing anymore! I'm fed up!
The frowning witch decided to cast an evil spell on the princess.
Alakazam! Alakazam! Let the roses wither! Let the Rose Princess be silent!
At that moment, the princess's hair turned into black as coal black. What's going on with my hair? They're all black! And it's now bedtime! Ugh. The princess with her black hair went out to the balcony to sing a lullaby to her people.
She clapped her hands 3 times. The golden little bird flew again and landed in her hand. Rose Princess's black hair was shining again. Although the princess wondered what happened to her red hair, she started to sing her lullaby with the bird.
Close your eyes tonight.
Everyone in the country fell into a deep sleep. But instead of good dreams, they had terrible nightmares. There were even children who woke up crying.
Mommy!
I had a very scary dream.
I don't want to sleep at night anymore. My dreams are so scary.
So are mine.
In the evening of the next day, the Rose Princess, who learned that her people were having nightmares, went back to her balcony and called her golden little bird. My little bird, my people are tired of having nightmares. Help me to heal their dreams before morning.
Let the roses make your hair smile. Do-ee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Let the roses make your hair smile. Do-ee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
Roses make my hair smile? With the bird's advice, the princess filled a large tub with water. She also put a handful of red rose petals in it. The water has turned red. The princess dipped her hair in this water. The hair turned red at that very moment. Roses made my hair smile. The little bird was telling the truth. Hooray! That night, when the princess sang a lullaby,
Close your eyes tonight.
everyone in the country slept peacefully
Until morning
and had beautiful dreams. Realizing that the spell she had cast on the Rose Princess was broken, the frowning witch got angry and cursed her once again. Alakazam! Palakazam! Let the roses wither! Let the Rose Princess be silent! Then she withered all the rosebuds in the country and fled. Rose Princess was very upset when she saw that her hair was coal black again. Oh, no way! Again? What is happening to me? The princess asked her assistants to bring rose petals immediately to fix her hair. However, the assistants could not find even a single rose in the garden or the country. What am I gonna do now, little bird? Tell me, huh?
Let the roses make your hair smile. Do-ee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
But there's not even a single rose in the whole country. Wait, don't go! Rose Princess was so upset that she started to cry loudly. The tears flowing from her eyes have fallen to the ground. At that time, there was a young and handsome man passing through the palace garden. When this young man saw the tears falling to the ground, he took out a box from his pocket, and inside there was a thin red strand of hair. Left the strand of red hair on the tears on the ground. A strand of red hair turned into a sparkling red rose in an instant. The handsome man took the rose and went to the princess. The princess, who was sadly standing by the bathtub full of water, was very excited when she saw the handsome man entering. You! I remember you!
Yes, I am, your childhood friend. This flower is for you. Please accept it, my Rose Princess.
The princess was so happy when she saw the red rose her childhood friend brought her. Immediately after, she threw the rose into the tub. She then dipped her hair in water. And finally, the witch's curse was broken. That coal-black hair has turned red again. Seeing the happiness of his daughter, the king was very curious.
Young man, please tell me, how did you find this rose when there was not a single rose left in the whole country? This rose was formed with the sad tears of our princess, and a strand of her red hair that I kept since childhood. My dear king, my loyalty is endless.
That's right, Daddy. Look, I've been keeping a strand of his hair in this box for years too. The king was impressed by the loyalty of both the princess and the young man. Thus, the Rose Princess and her childhood friend, the handsome man, got married the very next day. Realizing that her curse was broken by the power of love, the witch realized that she could never win again and flew to the lands far, far away.
In a country far, far away, there were two sisters, famous for their arrogance and jealousy. They were so jealous of their sister, Beauty, that there was nothing they wouldn't do to have her beauty and happiness. That day, as the sisters were getting ready to go to the piano recital that Beauty was going to give, they started to argue, as usual.
Ugh! Why did you take my comb again?
First of all, it's not yours, it's Beauty's. And secondly, even if you comb it, your hair doesn't look like anything good.
Finally, when the comb broke and there was nothing left to fight, the sisters started making plans to upset Beauty. On the other hand, the evil witch Rosa, who lived in a huge castle, looked at her ugly face in the mirror and threw the dried roses in her hand to the ground.
Ugh, they just don't work. I'll be ugly forever.
Even when the witch Rosa was a young witch, everyone made fun of her ugliness. She tried thousands of spells and magics, but she couldn't get any better. One day, while she was about to crush the roses in her garden and make perfume to remove her ugly smell, her cat Mir got tangled in her feet, and the bowl of crushed roses fell over the witch's head. At that moment, the big moles on her face were gone. Her fluffy and ugly hair had become like silk.
Huh? My nose! My hair! My hands! I'm beautiful! Mir, look! I'm beautiful now!
The witch Rosa, who found a way to become beautiful, would wake up early every morning and cast the spell until a prince came and plucked the roses in her garden. While Rosa was covering her mirror with a sheet, she heard a crack. Two sisters, Barbara and Bianca, jostled through the castle door.
Is this the witch Rosa's castle? Hey! Is there anyone there?
The jealous sisters of Beauty were very frightened when they suddenly met the witch in the hall of the castle.
Who are you? And what are you doing here?
The sisters complained to the witch that Beauty was living a life she did not deserve, and that they wanted to end her happiness at today's piano recital.
So what do you want from me? Cast a spell on her. Let her be fat, like a ball, so that the prince will not want her.
But the prince will love her even if she's fat.
Then let's imprison her on the top of the mountain with 7 caves.
Oh, but the prince will find her there too. When the sisters couldn't agree on a kind of decision and continued to argue, the witch Rosa cast a spell with her hand to silence them. She took a purple bottle from the potion cabinet and held it in the hand of one of the sisters.
Drop 3 drops of this potion onto Beauty's piano. Then you can thank me.
The sisters left excitedly. It was evening. Beauty saw her sisters come to the piano recital too.
Barbara, Bianca, my dear sisters, I missed you so much.
We might have missed you too, maybe. How small is your house?
Small? This is a palace, though.
And the piano is too old, huh?
Not old, actually. Antique. And very valuable. When Beauty was away, Barbara secretly took the potion out of her pocket and handed it to Bianca. And Bianca dropped 3 drops of the elixir on Beauty's piano. Beauty did not realize this. Came and started playing the piano. Black smoke appeared around her. The song that was playing suddenly turned into a loud noise. Beauty was banging on the piano keys with everyone's astonished stares. Prince Richard tried to calm Beauty, but failed. All the guests left the palace in shock. The sisters also happily went to the room reserved for them. The next day, Beauty started yelling again at everyone she saw.
Princess, what happened to you? What's wrong?
What happened? Isn't it enough to be married to a beast? Oh! Prince Richard was very upset by what Beauty had said, as if his good-hearted, gentle princess was gone. Instead, a cruel, angry woman came. Beauty was firing a cook, a gardener, a maid with a new excuse every day. The sisters were watching with pleasure and waiting in their rooms in the palace for the day when the prince would leave Beauty.
I wonder if this palace remains for me when the prince leaves Beauty.
As I am the elder, both the palace and the prince are my right. On the day Prince Richard was fixing the keys of the piano, he noticed an empty potion bottle lying under the piano.
Oh no! What if this bottle...
Picking up the potion bottle, he knew it was the work of the witch Rosa. Immediately, he got on his horse and set off for the witch's castle. The castle door opened with a bang, and Prince Richard entered.
What do you want from us, witch? Why did you cast a spell on Beauty?
It wasn't me who did it. It was Beauty's sisters.
The prince desperately asked the witch Rosa how he could fix this.
I will break the spell, only if you give me something to bring back my Beauty.
Prince Richard took the wish necklace that he always carried with him, the only memory of his mother, from his pocket, and handed it to the witch Rosa. He said she could wish whatever she wanted, but she had to wait for the full moon 3 days later. The witch Rosa took the necklace and hid it in a box. She cast a spell towards the mirror and turned to the prince.
You got what you wanted. I broke the spell on Beauty. But if this necklace doesn't work, fear me, Prince.
The prince happily returned to his palace. He went to Beauty and told her what had happened one by one. and Beauty called all the employees and apologized to all of them. Seeing this, Barbara and Bianca accepted their defeat
Oh, no!
and left the palace. The witch Rosa has not yet realized that beauty and goodness are not outward appearances. Whereas if a person's heart is good, the light on his face is always beautiful.